Hey, what's up, Marbo? I think I sent this in the Discord, but this sword, a little bit wonky, so I gotta straighten it out. So, hi from Ethiopia. Yes, this is a sword. Oh, dropped my hammer. But it's a little bent up here, so I need to straighten it. You're kidding, right? Well, that's inconvenient. This is tempered, right? I went there and tempered the whole goddamn thing. What the heck? Ugh. It's still rock hard. Oh, God. All right. Well, hey, at least the grain's good. That's inconvenient. That's real damn inconvenient, Marbo. Coulter. Ugh. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, at least the grain's good. And clearly it got nice and hard, but ugh. Well, I guess we're tempering it again. Alrighty. Move all my hammers. Actually, no. If we're tempering it again, I need to take off all the old temper colors. So we're going back over to the wire wheel. Did this one at least temper properly? Seems so. I guess maybe it could use a second temper cycle as well. Yeah, it is. They're definitely, It's not tempered. That's tragic. Just pop that chip right out of there. All right, well, this is like those ripped up jeans that people like wearing, but a sword. Swords typically were tempered at a higher temperature. Yeah, most of this is purple. I was trying to stay in the straws, but a lot of it is purple. And this is even at a spot that was tempered to purple. Maybe the colors were off because of the forged texture. I think I need to wire wheel it again and wire wheel it better. But yeah, that is quite tragic. I'm definitely going to temper it again, but I need to wire wheel it to get the old temper colors off, because otherwise, you can't really tell. Like I said, it's like those ripped up jeans that people like wearing. I don't think you guys can see the wire wheel from here. There, now you can. Yep. It's not a bug, it's a feature. I swear. Come on. There we go. Oh. Oh no. Man, I gotta get this done quick and get this through tempered. We have another crack. It looks like we're gonna have 2 notches there. All right. Let's go. Afternoon, Plunder Shop. I done goofed. Alright, see ya, Coulter. Alright, well, it's starting to get there. I think I'll just let that sit. Still skating. That's insane. Oh boy. Is this still working? Bluing the whole damn thing because it won't temper. I knocked a chip out of it trying to straighten it. So, yeah. And it's still pretty hard. That's insane. This isn't like some crazy steel. This is 1080. And it crunched in old Parks 50. I should probably just let it sit and cool down on its own. Here, it can go right there on the horn. Yeah. And this one did the same thing. I tempered it and it's still rock hard, which is crazy. Unless it's this file that sucks. Let's try a different one. This is the file I usually use for testing things. Yeah, that's a little more like it. It was 15 something. It wasn't quenched super scientifically, because I don't have the facilities to do that here. And even though I went to visit my friend Ian Z Forge, he really doesn't have the facilities to do it super scientifically either. Yeah, it files good on that. So this is still, it's still pretty hard. Like, more so than it really should be. So I'm gonna glue this one all the way across too. Just trying to help you troubleshoot. Yeah. The problem is we don't have a ton of knowledge on. I think it's probably the testing file that's the problem. But it still shouldn't have popped out that chip. Because I know there wasn't any cracks before. Like, I'm pretty confident about that. Well, I guess I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty damn confident. So I still don't know why it popped that chip out. My finger's not burning? That's not that bad. Dang, that's too small. Yeah, I'm going to be welding an extension to it. I have a piece of 5/16 round bar that I'm going to be welding to it, and that'll also make it much easier for me to thread it for the pommel nut. Actually, I might not thread it. I don't know. But I might thread it and then pin over the end of the tang anyways, and that'll really help. All right. Oop. Ow. That's hot. Let's see, where was it? Come on. There we go. Now we're just going to let that sit over there and temper. Yeah, that file's biting now, so this is... Well, it's not biting much, but it is biting. That's wild. That... Do I need to temper this again? All right. Not tempering correctly? Okay, how is this? Audio should be back. Yes, most forges, well, propane is a very common forge fuel. That's what my forge over there uses. That's should be back. Yeah, that microphone ran out of battery. Thank you guys for letting me know. But most bladesmiths, I think, use propane. Lots and lots of blacksmiths do use coal still, or charcoal, or other types of things in their traditional shops. So it is definitely still used. Now, tempering with a torch is not ideal. If I could afford, quenching, no, I already quenched them. That was the temper. Tempering with a torch isn't ideal. It's really difficult to get a perfectly even temper, and it's also much more difficult to control your heat. I would much rather be tempering these in an oven, but I am poor, so not going to happen. Tempering ovens for swords are really expensive. Like you can see right there, my truck that I bought, which was not cheap, is still not nearly as expensive as a sword tempering oven. I absolutely cannot afford one of those. So maybe pop some donations or something. I don't know. But yeah, if I could afford to temper these in an oven, I absolutely would. That is definitely the proper way to do it. But this does work. The size of the oven. Well, the size of the oven and the tempering, heat treat ovens aren't cheap, even for the little ones. They're still like, even like the smallest models, if you go to like Even Heat or one of those types of companies, are like $1,000 a lot. Oh, thanks, Dominic. That's awesome. So even the small ones aren't super cheap. The really big ones, like a 3-foot tempering oven that I would need for something like this, which is almost a 3-foot blade. Yeah, you can temper in like a oven for baking. You certainly can, but these aren't going to fit in there. And usually, like most of my blades, my knives at least, I temper in a toaster oven because it does work. You can't obviously quench out of the baking oven, but you can temper out of it. And the chains for my anvil are coming loose. Come on, get back on there. And building a tempering oven is also not super cheap. It's cheaper than buying, as things usually are. Yeah, heat treating oven is definitely a game changer. I have there's a small one at the place I was working for a while, for production knives and stuff. Looks like most of this is tempered. Yeah, that'll work. Hell yeah. 4 old ovens and clay. That would certainly be something, but that would also take up a lot of space, and I don't have a lot of space. Nah, the truck took up a whole heap of my money, and is continuing to do so. So I'm not going to have tempering oven money for quite a while, but torch tempering does work. Okay, that's fine. It's not, you know, ideal, obviously, but it does work. And especially since I'm not making swords professionally, just for a hobby, it'll do just fine. For the amount of, you know, for the amount of use these swords are going to get. Make swords tempering this style. Really, with like 4, what, old toaster ovens cut up and lined up? That's crazy. Hey, if it works. If it works, it works, I guess. But that's still pretty warm. That's still pretty warm too. I have one from Minihow. It's a 25-inch long. It's nice, budget friendly. Nice. Yeah, we have a hot shot at work. Man, I need to fix. Actually, that's still not too bad, but I do want to fix it. All right, that'll have to do. Oh, can't do that. Yeah, that'll work. How legal is it? Where I live, you're fine. There's not going to be any problems. I don't know where you live. If you're in the UK or some place like that, you might run into some issues. But here in America, they're good. No issues at all. All right, so, oh, thanks, Pony Shop. All right, so this sword is pretty straight. Like that way. There's a couple spots where the edge pops out one way or the other, which we'll have to address. The biggest issue with this one is it's sabered. Which is quite inconvenient. So I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to straighten it this way and get it dialed this way. Is it twisted? That sounds really bad. Sabered. Saber is what you call when it's bent like the flat way. So it is technically just another type of warp. I don't know how well you can see it, but sabered means it's bent like that way. Just like a warp is this way, or a twist is when it goes like that. Bent, twisted, and sabered. Yeah, so no, I haven't been in any movies. That would be cool though. I don't know if I could do it. Yeah, it's a carbide hammer. Katanas are cool. King Arthur knows you found his sword. Thanks. That's pretty cool, yeah. It's a bad idea. It's not sharpened yet. I'll be all right. this awesome carbide hammer all the time. Yeah, the carbide hammer is really nice. I got this 3/8 carbide ball on Amazon for like $8 or something like that. And then it took like 15 minutes to put it in the hammer. It was really nice. So yeah, and then I've used this, obviously it's kind of old, but I've used it a lot and it works really well. Yeah, I made it the same way. Yeah, I just flattened the end off, drilled the hole, put the thing in there, and then just peened over the edge basically with a little like punch. Oh, okay. Dinner is ready. Okay. Well, I have been summoned. I think we made negative progress today, I'm not gonna lie. With this goddamn horribleness, but the hammer is beginning to develop a crack from the carbide. Wow, that's crazy. But yeah, those are two swords that we're working on straightening out. So yeah, and also this is what I was working on. I just chained my little travel anvil to the top of my normal anvil so I can sit on the stool and work. Chains and lag bolts, people, it's worth it. So yes, there we go. Have a good one, y'all. And thanks for the donations, Dominic and Plunder Shop. That really means a lot. Thank you guys. Have a good one.